Hey, so some information in this video is inaccurate. This was made back when this was what we knew about Expansion Pass Wave 2. Instead of this. Yeah, like straight up, annoyingly enough, this video was made so much before this entire trailer happened. This was made before the Direct was announced, and I'm gonna be entirely blunt. This video was supposed to release next week. I'm switching its place with this week's video solely so this video at least makes some amount of sense. And I'm going to talk about the whole DLC thing in another video. Maybe it's out now, maybe it's not. Just in a video where I talk about the Direct as a whole. Mostly because I really don't feel like re-editing this video. I've already spent like 5 hours on this video, so we'll talk about it later. Xenoblade 3, Expansion Pass, things I want to see. Also, surprisingly enough, there will be no spoilers. If there is a section that discusses spoilers, I will go ahead and tell you beforehand, but generally we'll be avoiding spoilers. Let's start with Wave 2. We know we're getting a new character, and we know very little about them. Their design kind of reminds me of an android, so to speak, and hopefully they'll be Kavesi, as Kavesi has less total heroes than Agnes, by about 2, since Trident is such a weird case where I'm not sure if I would want to count him. But personally, I'd rather see them be Agnes, as I just way prefer their recharge style. It's a lot more fun. But I think overall it makes sense for it to be Kavesi. Now, ideally, this is a returning character. I don't think it will be. Their silhouette does not seem to match anyone. The closest I could get is a Xenoblade 1 spoiler, specifically 7. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but silhouette at the stretchiest I could get could be 7, which I would totally love to see 7 in this game. 7 is who I play as in Xenoblade 1, so trust me, I want to see them. But the silhouette doesn't match anyone perfectly, and it will likely be a new hero. Hopefully the quest is fun, and they aren't just unlocked through the thing, which we're about to talk about. Now, that other thing is challenge mode, which I am really excited for. This game easily has my favorite combat of the series. I really like it. And frankly, I love challenge mode in Xenoblade 2, and I love its equivalent in Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition. I wish X had it, but whatever. Xenoblade 2's, I didn't touch that much, but I played the game without the DLC, even though I played it after the DLC had fully released. If that makes any sense, I didn't really touch the DLC. And at this point, I would rather touch it on a second playthrough than actively go for it right now, since I mean to replay the game, since I now have the knowledge of both its prequel and its sequel. Or I guess, sister game and sequel. But the point being, I really love challenge mode in these. They're just fun, custom missions that test your strength and your skill in the challenge that these games have. They're hard not to love. Also, give us answers on the Narpon Arc Sage, please. Alright, this next little bit has Xenoblade 3 ending spoilers, so if you have not seen the ending, please skip ahead to the timecode on screen. Alright, if you have not seen the ending, you should be gone. Just pause the video and skip. But I would love to see Poppy as a hero. Now, there's 2 reasons why. Now, we have one more hero aside from the one they've shown the silhouette for. But one, Poppy is still alive in Xenoblade 3. For 2, we need more defenders. Poppy's role in Xenoblade 2 is a tank. So that's more defenders. That's a great character. Poppy's one of my favorite characters in the series. Like, genuinely, I don't understand why Poppy isn't at least an NPC. She's there. You can visit where she is, and she just isn't there. If you have Nia in the party, she acknowledges Poppy. Why is Poppy not there? Poppy is the best character in this series. I love this whole series, but seriously, I want Poppy so much. So yeah, if you guys, like, I genuinely really want to see Poppy as a hero. I think she could be really fun. I think she could have really fun chain attacks, and frankly, Poppy's just a hero I desperately want. Not to mention, that could actually explain why you have so little heroes in the DLC. Xenoblade 2 added like 5 or so DLC blades. Xenoblade 3 is adding 2. If you added Poppy, you could add in Poppy, Poppy QT, and Poppy Cutie Pie. Ostensibly adding 3 heroes. Now, how could you do that? You could just do something similar to Soul Hacker. Having it so you just change that in the skills menu. I would make, like, obviously, I don't think Poppy QT is a healer, but she'd have to be, because Poppy Alpha has to be a defender. Poppy Cutie Pie has to be an attacker. So there you go. Poppy Cutie, you're a healer now. Deal with it. 1, that would give every class a new role. 2, that'd give us 3 times the amount of Poppy. Can you tell I want her in this game? And also, you get an Aegis-like playstyle, specifically too, since Poppy Cutie Pie was designed to be basically equivalent to Pyra and Mithra, so you'd also get, essentially, Pyra or Mithra playable through Poppy Cutie Pie. There you go! Everyone's happy! I really want Poppy. Okay, so, welcome back everyone that skipped that last section. Now, I know I ignored the costumes, but, frankly, all I have to say on them is you could just go ahead and make Wave 2's costumes a character representation for each character from Xenoblade 1. So, like, Noah gets a Shulk costume. Uni gets a Charla costume. Lance gets a Rhine costume. So on and so forth. Now, you may be wondering why I chose Uni for Charla and not Melia, another Hyenia. Charla's weapon of choice is a shotgun. She's a shotgun healer. So is Uni. Which is also why I was dreading Uni's class before we had heroes revealed. I'm like, oh god, not again. And then Wave 3's could be Xenoblade 2 characters. But I have nothing actively to say about this, just because they're costumes. There's nothing I could really want other than fan service and acknowledging other games in the series. Now, it's time for the big boy. Wave 4. New story scenario. The reason I call it a big boy is because Xenoblade 2's Torna of the Golden Country was given the exact same writing to the letter in Xenoblade 2's expansion pass. Brand new story scenario. And Torna of the Golden Country is like this 20-hour campaign. Like, straight up, I bought Xenoblade 3's expansion pass, no questions asked. Like, this seems a bit pricey, it's $40, but like, I know the price is worth it solely on Wave 4. I am really excited for Wave 4. I'm not sure what you would call it. You could call it something like Xenoblade Chronicles The Lost Numbers, Xenoblade Chronicles Finale, because I feel Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Wave 4, we need a better name for that, but I think that is going to be the ending to this series. I genuinely feel they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to make Xenoblade 3 entirely pointless, or they're going to conclude the series. We already know from teasers that Shulk and Rex will be appearing, by the fact the promo art shows the Monado and the Aegis Blade. Now, of course, Rex technically doesn't have to be there, because the Aegis Blade technically doesn't mean Rex, but you know. You're not gonna bring Pyra and not Rex. Even Smash didn't do that. So, we already know we're going to be getting essentially 2 new heroes. I think it's a safe bet to say to do something akin to Torna with around 9 playable characters. Maybe. They might do more because you have the 6 Xenoblade 3 party members. There's no reason not to waste them. And honestly, I think what they might end up doing is making the story segmented in 2 at the beginning. So essentially, you have 2 parties of 6 that eventually join up to be a party of 12. Which also, I don't think we're asking too much. We're asking them to make 6 new characters. Because you could have Kevis have the 3 Kevis characters, as well as Shulk, Melia, and Fiora. You could probably change Fiora for like Dunban, or Riku, or Ricky, or basically any party member. Fiora feels like the one they'd put in most likely, but it could be anyone, but frankly, Shulk and Melia are chosen. shoo-ins. And then for Agnes, you'd have Rex, Nia, and Pyra and Mithra, I guess? I'm not sure. Honestly, they could kind of go with a lot of people. There's not one in specific they would have to go with for that. But genuinely, I think that could be really cool. It could be really fun. And I'm super excited for it. I genuinely really want to see what happens next. And you may be wondering, well, Rex and Shulk should be dead. Honestly, I'm not even sure how long Rex lives, because he's a Blade Eater, and those are really unexplored. Like, Flesh Eaters are pretty much immortal. So are Blade Eaters immortal, or are they more age closely to Hyenia, which age slowly? And Shulk's practically a god. And that doesn't really matter. Time travel's already a thing in this series. I'm sure someone's like, wait, it is? Yeah, the Nopon Arcsage genuinely pulls Shulk and Fiora out of their time into Xenoblade 2, as well as Elma. Shulk actively mentions that he's using a different, that he did not have the Monado when he left, when he got pulled. So, the Nopon Arcsage can clearly do some sort of pseudo-time traveling. So, it's entirely in the question, and I'm super excited for this. I really hope we get a trailer soon. I could see us, at the earliest, we get a teaser in September's trailer, like in September's Direct. But I think more likely we would get it in about June, which would leave about 6 months till the game's release. And I am excited for that, whenever that is. But these are the things that I would like to see out of the announced stuff. Obviously, I would love more heroes than they've announced. So what do you think? What are you hoping for? I'm trying to keep my opinions small, mostly because I don't want to ask for more than we're gonna get and set my expectations too high. But either way, what would you like to see? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a ton.